Good morning, gamers! How's it going, guys? So my internet keeps saying, I'm looking at the OBS internet alert, and it's in the red, and there's no reason for it to be in the red. Internet seems to be completely fine. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could fix it. I wish I could fix it, dude. Anyway, I'm here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can, okay? Can you guys hear me? Everyone's saying it was loud, so I assume that you can. Very good. I forgot to advertise the stream. Let me quickly do that if you don't mind. Sip Man rides again. Here we go. Sip Man rides again. That's me. I'm the Sip Man. Oh, that's the right link that I just pinged everyone with. I did wash my hands, yes. This slurp. No more boomer audio, but still a boomer on audio. Yeah, fair enough, guys. Fair enough. Let me drop this link everywhere. I'm in a Discord that's actually like reasonably left leaning. It's not a political Discord, but it's like it's like a gaming Discord, but they're like kind of lefties. And I posted my healthcare is not a human right in there, and I got a lot of fucking anger. Fair enough. Where do you send fan art? Fan art. Well, there's a fan art channel in there's a fan art channel in the Discord. In my Discord rather. And every month, like the final sip of every month, I do like a community thing. Let me see. I'll put it on Twitter as well because why not? Even though Twitter's a useless hole at this point. I bet Dev wipes while sitting. Who doesn't wipe while sitting? $2. Louis Lavaux debate. When? We already had the debate. And like, I have a feeling that people either I didn't watch his video. We had the debate in private. I have a feeling that like either his video was not representative of my position or the viewers of his video didn't get it because they all said, Devin, how could you make a video like healthcare is not a human right when you're talking about tampons and washrooms with Louis? And I'm like, well, tampons and washrooms with Louis aren't a human right. Like, a right is not the same thing as, oh, we have money in the budget, let's provide this service. Those are two very different things. Like, healthcare is not a human right. It is a privilege that a rich country can give to its people, but it's not a human right. $5 from Russell Patton, thank you. Dev, you fucking boomer. Was wondering if you ever watched the Fate series and your thoughts on it. I have not. Unfortunately, no. Dev, what's for Game Boomers tonight? No Game Boomers tonight, I'm pretty sure. Instead, and I'm going to actually discuss this, I'm going to go on the SFO Minecraft server. And for the first time, I'm going to be bringing in people who have been kind of waiting to join other than mods, because we are going to be setting up the maze. And like the mods don't completely have enough time to do it before. I want to get the server open and the plugins ready by the 1st, okay? That's my aim, anyway. And the mods and I just don't have enough time to actually build this maze. So I'm going to grab a few people. What do you mean, John Panetta? What are you talking about? I'm going to backpedal. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to grab a few people who have been waiting in line and who have been in the community for a long time so I can actually consider them reasonably trustworthy. And they're going to help me out with the maze. And the thing is, guys, the thing is regarding this situation is, if I pick you and you destroy the server, I'm fucking banning you. I don't care how much money you give me. I don't want anybody vandalizing what we're doing. But if we can get the maze open and the plugin set, I can open the server up. We can actually launch it. So I'm probably... Here's my plan. We're going to do the sip. I'm going to edit tomorrow's video because I recorded a dumping with Scrump last night. So I'm going to edit that. We'll do we'll do that dumping with Scrump. I'll put that out for tomorrow. And then I'll probably hop on Minecraft and I'll grab people who want to go on Minecraft. So like it's 10:40 a.m., you know. I'd say in a couple hours time, maybe by like 1 p.m. if you're around, I'll grab you in Discord and we'll go do Minecraft. Shut up, Frodo. You're banned. Pretty please, could you do a Game Boomers Let's Play of the games Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 3 Remake when it comes out in 2.5 months? And play both of these on hardcore mode. Dude, I haven't played Resident Evil 2 since the original. I didn't play the remake, man. I'm sorry. I don't... Well, say Guther, if you want to do it, we'll set it up. I'll do it this afternoon. TNT layer around everything. No. Nobody has a right to somebody else's labor except me and you Minecraft stooges. Ha 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 ha. Pay for my feminine hygiene products, bigot. Yeah, K Dolo. Regarding that Louis thing, my position isn't that the tax dollars should go to it. Like, I don't think that it should be legally mandated. I think if like a private company wants to do it, it's their business. If they have money in their budget, fuck it. You know, I don't think anyone should be forced to do it. Imagine if Dev played Dark Souls. Probably will. Now that like the show is basically just Naomi and I, apples, we might actually pick up Dark Souls. I'm not that thin anymore, dude. I've actually, you know what? I've actually lost a few pounds. I've actually lost a few pounds since the start of the year. I've stuck to my diet, guys. It's been pretty good. You know, I've stuck to my diet. I'm eating well. Haven't had any kind of junk food or fast food, any kind of takeout. Oh. Uh-oh. I just had my kilobytes per second output drop down to 0. Did you guys lose the stream for a minute? What the fuck's going on with the internet, dude? Maybe it's because like I'm in the middle of a blizzard at the moment. Like right now, what's happening is there's a massive blizzard, the worst blizzard that we've seen all winter. There's going to be at least 75 centimeters of snow coming in over the course of like 6 hours. How much is 75 centimeters in inches? Let's see. Let me look it up. Come on, internet, you fucking. Russell Patton, $5. So you're saying everyone dogpile your voice chat? Maybe. Satanic Potato, $5. Tunes into Sep. Dev, good morning. Thank you. Okay, so the snow is going to be around 30 inches of snow today. And it's raging outside at the moment. So I guess what's going on is the internet's being affected, unfortunately. So anyway, because you live in Canada, yeah, maybe. And in any case, though, what I was saying before the blizzard hit the internet really hard, I've actually stuck to my diet ever since the January 1st. It's now January 19th, and I've stuck to it. I already have Hat in Time measurement, but thank you. It's been like I've basically not had any junk food, any fast food. Haven't ordered out. Haven't had like any food delivered. I've overeaten a couple of days, but I've only like had more than I should have of regular food, like healthy food, and I've eaten only healthy food. And you know what? I feel better. I feel better, dude. Yeah, that's fair, Ludwig Dahl. But like here's the thing: we had the conversation in private, And I said, I don't think taxes should pay it. And he said, well, that was the conversation. And I said, that wasn't the conversation, because if you watch what's her name's video, Caitlin, whatever her face from Liberty Hangout, her point of view wasn't that taxes are paying for it. Like she never actually brought up taxation in that video at all. $4 from Via. Thanks for the cup of coffee, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks, Binary Surfer. I have noticed, though, that like whenever it rains really heavily in this house, the internet periodically cuts out. And what I think that is like the line is exposed somehow and water gets in. I don't know. Something. You're out of here, Chaos Light Dark? I'll see you later, man. So anyway, plan is, yeah, after I edit the dump, we're going to go on Minecraft this afternoon, boys. Boys and the few girls that might be here, but mostly boys. We're going to go on the Minecraft server this afternoon. We're going to set things up. I'm not going to do a Game Boomers tonight. I will instead do one tomorrow. Naomi's out of town for the next 3 days, so I'll probably do like a solo stream tomorrow. I'll solo stream on the couch. And then when Naomi comes back, we're going to start Mass Effect 3. That's the Game Boomers plans anyway. But tonight is going to be pretty much all about Minecraft. Oh, and Obi, I've done Nier Automata on the stream. You could use mobs like creepers and ghasts in the maze without them destroying it if you set mob griefing to false. That's brutal, Dracus, but thank you. Thank you for the 5. Be wary. What do you mean? What do you mean, Undead Ocarina Gamers? What are you talking about? Brick Muppet, because when I talked about public healthcare in that video, I talked about rights, not taxation. Like, do you have the right to public healthcare? Well, if you do, then that means that the doctors have an obligation to give it to you. And that obligation exists regardless of how much money you can pay, or how much money the state can pay. So if you're in a situation where the patient has no money and the state has no money, the state can still force the doctor to care for you, which is obviously an overstep. Omega, what I think I'm going to do with Resident Evil is play them during Halloween, because Naomi's never played them before and I want to show her. Purest form of cancer. Did Dave just cease to exist? What the fuck happened? The honest truth is, I don't completely know. I know he's still alive, but he hasn't been here in nearly a month. He's still paying rent for the place, so fuck it. But he doesn't seem to want to show up to the Game Boomer streams anymore. And he doesn't want to talk about it, so... You know, I have nothing to report other than he's not here. You know? He's basically just ducking it. And I mean, if he doesn't want to get paid for doing it, that's fine. You know, every month the Twitch channel makes more and more money, and so does the YouTube channel, obviously. But every month the Twitch channel makes more and more money. So if he doesn't want his cut anymore, that's his business. Hey Yiz, thanks for the $2. Did you miss anything important? Not yet. Dr. Mambo. Well, Brick Muppet, the slavery argument is still a real argument, you know? Any kind of right that requires you to actively do something, like any kind of right that somebody else has that requires you to actively do something to enforce it, seems to be slavery. For example, like if somebody else has the right to free speech, you don't have an obligation to do anything. You just have to not censor them. You have to not do something. If they have property rights, you have to not steal from them. You have to not do something. But if they have a right to get something, that means that you have an obligation to provide it. And that seems to be slavery. Okay, guys, I don't want to necessarily go over the Dave situation over and over and over. I've told it about 5 times now. And I'm going to stop talking about it, but basically, he's not replying to people anymore. He's basically ducking me, which is fine. If he doesn't want to show up if he doesn't want to show up and he doesn't want to actually have the spine to talk about it with me, that's his business, because that just means that it's one less person to pay, you know? Like, parts of, you know, the Twitch money that comes in, part of it goes to Dave, and not anymore. So I get more money. It's kind of a sad situation that I'm not really getting any closure on it, but it's his business. I'm sticking out of it now. And that's the last time I'll talk about it. So if anybody else asks, chat room, please fill them in. I want to be over the situation. I want to be done with it. I don't want to be worrying about it anymore or continuing to talk about it, you know? I want to move past it, basically, you know? I can run a fucking channel and a show without people if I have to. I think I'm capable enough by myself. I just hit 0. Can you guys even hear me? I just hit 0 kilobytes a second again. Could you guys even hear me during that? Did I cut out at all? Because the internet, it seems to be not reliable at the moment. Sure, Omega. Thanks, man. Seriously though, did I just cut out during that part? I'd like to know, chat, before I move on with the I'm gonna get the news going. I am gonna get the news going. I just want to know if I cut out there, guys. Yeah, we beat it in Fearter. It was good. Really good ending. Still hear me. But did I cut out, though? Was a split second? No? Yes? Okay, well, that seems to be how it's going, guys. I'm just losing internet every once in a while. Simon Phillips, this is my weekly sip where I talk about, I basically talk about the news in my community and then the news that I've found over the course of the week. All right, thanks, chat. Let's actually go on. Before I start, that's basically all the community news. Before I start, though, let's talk about this. As always, I have a BitChute channel where videos go up after they go up on YouTube. PayPal and Subscribestar are great ways to donate to the show. $5 a month on Subscribestar. That will get you into the $5 club for a month. And $100 through PayPal will get you into the $5 club for life. I also stream most nights on twitch.tv/GameBoomers. So, and also, I have a sub button over there because I'm relatively active and I have like a decent enough viewer base. So, if you go and you sub there, it's the same as putting $5 through Subscribestar. You just sub there instead. It still costs $5, obviously, because it's Twitch, but you know what I mean. Let me see here. Let's actually bring... Hold on, let me close this. I think you and Lilith are wrong about tampons. Forcing us to pay for it is wrong. Feminine hygiene is not right. Dude Guy McPaul, thank you very much. I never want anyone to be forced to pay for it, though. I never said that. Are Lewis and I fighting? No, not at all. We had a private discussion, and I think honestly we were talking over each other for most of the discussion, but I think we both have reasonable positions. But no, I don't. Thanks very much for becoming a member, Via. I appreciate it. Memberships should also get into the $5 club, but I haven't found like a good working YouTube bot that works with Discord yet to actually set that up. But I will set it up. I promise you. Remind me if I don't, like in the next few days. Does the Hippocratic Oath violate healthcare's right, the doctor's right to provide free care? Well, the Hippocratic Oath isn't binding, though. It seems to be a cultural thing, not like something you have to actually follow. As strange as that sounds, but thank you very much for the $5. But yeah, I do not believe that anyone should be forced to pay for tampons. That's ridiculous, you know. But at the same time, if a place wants to provide them, whether that's like in a tampon vending machine or even for free, that's their business. It's not my business. You know? If they have the budget for it doesn't matter to me. Especially because like the whole point of a... Yes, Brick Muppet. Actually, after this, I'm gonna go and upload the last 2 videos that I missed. But thanks for $2. But in general, like, my argument is that places are under no obligation to provide washrooms at all because washrooms cost money, right? So at the same time, we understand that like public health, public hygiene is a reasonable goal, you know, and we are willing to spend money on it for that to actually be a reasonable goal. You know, like no public location, you know, like a business or a university or anywhere is obligated to provide washrooms, right? But they still do so because everyone has to shit eventually. And it's better if they do it in a washroom than like in your hallway, you know. But you could make the argument that, you know, no one should provide washrooms. No one should provide toilet paper in the washrooms. No one should provide soap in the washrooms or toilets or sinks or anything else. But public health is, in this instance, in this conversation, the goal, not cutting costs. So if that's the framework of why you even have washrooms to begin with, then it actually makes complete sense to provide other products that maintain public health. Why not pay for use washrooms? See, that actually makes sense too, but whenever you implement that, everyone's fucking up in arms about it, you know? Like, I'm completely fine with people, with companies like installing tampon vending machines where you put in a quarter, you get a tampon in a restroom. Seems reasonable to me. Anyway, let's actually get on with the news, shall we? Because that's enough jibber jabbing, isn't it? I've really drunk through my coffee quickly today. Let's go. This is an older story, but it still checks out. Aaron Phillip, the trans-disabled model taking on a $2 trillion industry. I know this is from like last year, but I just came across it. And I guess it's a trans-disabled model who's also black, taking on I guess she's a model then? Aaron Phillip's life has been transformed by becoming the first black trans-disabled model to sign for a major agency. You know, does she just like roll down the runway in her chair? I'm gonna assume. I mean, yeah, I could see it. I had seen a picture of this person where she had like a ridiculous, like a giant thing on her head. Dude, Guy McPants, $5. This is you being obtuse. Public institutions pay for free tampons with my tax dollars. See, I actually don't necessarily agree with that because public institutions do not get the entirety of their funding from taxation. And just because, like, the government gives let's say that a university gets a grant from the government, that doesn't mean that all of the university's money is now government money. There's still other sources, right? You like at the most you can claim that like, let's say that 20% of the university's money comes from the government. You can claim that like 20% of the tampons come from government funding. Like this whole like the government gives an institution $1, and now like you have to have complete control over it. It's like no, fuck off with that. Her name is Roll AIDS. Are you kidding me, Yiz? Anyway. So, Aaron Phillip's life has been transformed by becoming the first black trans-disabled model to sign for a major agency. Since joining the renowned Elite Model Management last September, the 17-year-old, okay, fine, has shot editorial for ID Magazine and been named in Teen Vogue's 21 Under 21. And this really just seems like somebody who is a model now, I guess. And like, there seems to be no coherent objection to it, but at the same time, it's like, well, I thought there was actually a modicum of skill required in being a model, and the skill was how you walk, how you wear these ridiculous outfits and walk up and down this runway. And it seems like if you're in a chair, all of the nuance of that walk and doing it properly is kind of out of the question, isn't it? Like, you're just going to drive it. I mean, why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't I like hop in a chair and just roll down a runway and get paid millions of dollars? Give me a second here. Fuck off, Artemis Fowl. Anyway, they're talking about the trans visibility thing, and they're talking about the black thing in this article. But honestly, like, if this person... It almost seems like, unfortunately, the disability makes it that she can't really properly do the job the way that any other model could. If this person was black and trans and could walk, I don't care. Throw on the dress and walk down the runway. But it's almost like now you can just lower the standards of the job itself because you're in a wheelchair. And it's like, well, seems a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? Yeah, this does seem to be peak diversity. Yeah, it definitely seems to be peak diversity, doesn't it? Seems to be peak diversity. This is like those Downs kids that gets elected prom king and queen. Yeah, kinda, eh? Okay. Anyway, this literally just seems to be an article about their existence and how how brave they must be to do this. Whatever. Washington Post, $5. No, fuck you, Deb. Thanks, Artemis Fowl. A runway is ableist. Call it a translocation way. Okay. Washington Post hacks into Chevy. Actually, hold on. Before we continue, I'm gonna find what I had before because it was like a different situation. Give me a second. Here it is. I found it. Before we move on from Aaron Phillip. Come on, Internet. Please cooperate. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. It's taking a second. It's taking a second. I'm the SIP man. That's me. Here it is. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading on the other monitor, guys. Give me a minute. Come on. You know what? Maybe it's good that I'm not going to be streaming on Game Boomers tonight. Like, with this internet being like this, fuck me. Okay. Here's an article from Vice that's about 6 months older. So an even older article. But it has probably the best picture that I've seen of this person. What do you have on your fucking head? Like, look at this. It's like she's wearing an entire like underdress. All right. God fucking damn it. Anyway, Washington Post hacks into Chevy to show how much cars are spying on owners. This is why you buy Ford, I guess. The Washington Post hacked into a Chevy Volt several days ago with the help of an automotive technology expert to find out just how many. Thanks for the $5, Max Tipperfray. It's pretty normal. We've been lowering standards for a while. More dangerous fields like firefighting. Yeah, it's not a good sign, man. But anyway, hacking into the car to find out just how much automakers are spying on their owners and discovered that vehicles are recording their owners' every move. The 2017 Chevy Volt first experiment and learned that the car collected a wide range of highly precise data ranging from the vehicle's location to information about the driver's cell phone, including call records, noting that many vehicles copy over personal data the moment that a smartphone is plugged into the vehicle. Bullshit. This is awful, guys. Like, all of these devices that need to have like operating systems and you sync them together, like your smart TV, your smart fridge, your smart car. It's just ways for you to be monitored. I'm not gonna like. I sound like a tinfoil hat retard, but still. My coffee's done early. God damn it. When you got time later in the stream, I should show off what I sent you in Discord. Your viewers will hate it. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it. I'll do it right now, maybe. Let me see. Let me see. Wow. It's loading. Even Discord's slow. Jesus. Wow. I wonder if cycling my router will do it, eh? Oh god, don't keep linking me things that I have to load up. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Where's the thing, John Pineda? I don't like use smart devices basically. Like I have a smart TV that I never use. I just hook my computer up to it. Anyway, let's go back. Let's continue with this. The Post noted that the Chevy Volt did not inform drivers what information it was recording, of course not, and did not make mention of it in the owner's manual, since there are no federal regulations protecting consumers' privacy and data from automakers. The Post went to Jim Mason, who has a PhD in engineering and reconstructs the car accidents for a living by hacking into the vehicles. Mason focused on hacking into the car's infotainment system since it was the easiest computer, out of several computers in the vehicle, to physically get to inside the car. After having to take a bit of the car apart to reach the computer, the Post found that Chevy collected the following information. There is a map. There on a map was the precise location where I had driven to take apart the Chevy. There were my other destinations, like the hardware store. I had stopped to buy some tape. Among the trove of data points were unique identifiers for my and Doug's phones and a detailed log of phone calls from the previous week. There was a long list of contacts, right down to people's addresses, emails, and even photos. It's fucking scary, dude. It's honestly fucking scary. I'm sorry, John. It happens to be there, man. I just read what I see. I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, like, I've spoken to V in private about the data collection thing. And V's opinion is an opinion where he basically says, I don't fucking care. They can take whatever data from me they want. I don't give a shit. If they want to sell it around, that's fine, because I guess maybe V considers himself less influenced by advertising than normal, which is, possible. Like, I know, for example, I might search something, right? And then after I search it, I'll get targeted ads for that thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks for the data, thanks for stealing my data. But at the same time, I never click on any of those ads. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I'm just like, okay, there's an ad here, and for a product that I looked at but I'm not going to buy, so that was a waste of effort on your part, right? There's certainly an argument of like, I consider my data to be useless. I don't care what you do with it. You can harvest it all you like. Fuck off. And then as soon as you say, and the answer to it might actually be fuck off, where someone's like, oh, I looked at your data and you were at the hard store yesterday. Yeah, I was. Fuck off. Maybe that's what we have to do. Yeah, I go to Pornhub. Fuck off. It's definitely creepy for sure. Like I'm not condoning his point of view, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with it, and I'm not even saying that data collection should be happening, but I'm saying that if we can't prevent it, maybe what we have to do is just make it useless. Make it useless data for them, Like, I don't need to be advertised to by Nintendo. I knew I was going to buy a Switch, right? Meanwhile, there are certainly things that you can advertise to me all day, and I won't be influenced to buy. It doesn't matter, Like, I don't drink alcohol, right? Advertise as much fucking wine to me as you want. I will never buy it. So maybe like a strong-willed populace and an educated populace is how you make data collection a lot more useless than it currently is. It's possible. Because if tech solutions aren't working for us, then maybe we have to like upgrade ourselves rather than upgrade our computers. Bastard Beast. That's what everyone in the old internet Bloodsport scene does now. What do you mean, Bastard Beast? What are you talking about? Yeah, the government gets data used against you, but like in what way? You know? Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Brave's pretty good. Yes. Like if the government came to me and was like, you know what? We know that you watch trap porn. I'd be like, yeah, fuck off. I don't fucking care. Dev, you don't have to be. Yeah, people who grew up in the '90s can kind of tone advertisements out because the '90s was like the advertisement decade, you know. Wouldn't you get your own body hacked? I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. First rule of internet blood sports is no one talks about internet blood sports. They go through people's stuff and try to use it against them. Yeah, but like, did it even work? Like, I've said this a few times now. You know, Jim Medicare, he did a stream on me. My subs have doubled since he did that stream. He obviously didn't take me down. He had nothing on me because there was nothing on me to have. Like, just okay. Yeah, pretty much. Just yeah. Here's how you counter it. You just become the embodiment of the Chad yes meme. Like when someone says something when someone says something to you to try and trap you. Oh, God damn it! It just fucking cut out again. When someone says something to you to try and trap you, just unironically be yes. Just Chad right through it. There was a hack for pacemakers a while back. Jesus, that sounds scary. Anyway, let's continue if you don't mind, okay? Why did the U.S. become the focus of the Iraqis' anger? I don't know. Why do you think it fucking happened? Are we back? Okay, the internet came back on and it should have automatically started streaming. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Are we back? It looks like we're back. Okay. Okay. We're back? Okay, great. Awesome. I restarted the router and actually it cycled a few times. Like it wouldn't come back. Says Dev from the deep web. I was like under my desk for a bit and I was like checking out the router out in the hallway. You know, anyway, we're back. So let's bring back the news, guys. Thanks for sticking with me, eh? The pacemaker hack was going to show it to the public to raise awareness, not show everyone how to do it and get pacemaker traders to charge them, but he died from mysterious circumstances. Of course he fucking did. Did GameStop send the Tweedle brothers? Okay. The internet says no. Now we're back. We're back, Marie. We're back. So, I don't know if you heard me laughing when I read the headline of this because I kind of couldn't take it. But why did the U.S. become the focus of Iraqis' anger? I don't know, guys. Why do you think? What do you think possibly happened here? You know. For months, furious protests have battered Iraq, driven by the frustration at a dysfunctional economy, corruption, and the pervasive influence of a foreign power, Iran. Then a rocket attack killed an American contractor in Iraq. American airstrikes hit an Iranian-backed Iraqi militia. And Iraqis' anger turned back on the United States, culminating with a break-in at its embassy compound in Baghdad. You're stupid. This goes back further than this. Russell Patton for $5. I'm going to tell you this once. Don't stream in the middle of any type of storm. You should know that these things happen when you use the internet. Okay, fair enough. But things be going okay now. Did Dave infect your internet with a viral load before he died? Well, I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe the U.S. became the focus of the Iraqis' anger because the U.S. fucking raped Iraq into the fucking dust in 2003. You know, back before you were even born. Alon Yuhas. Anyway. So apparently this guy doesn't understand anything regarding the Middle East or what's going on there. Someone somewhere did something. Yeah. Guys, we may never know the true motivations of the 9/11 attackers, you know? That those austere religious scholars. So this is just basically like a refresh of the United States attacking Iran, Iran attacking the United States. And they launched the airstrikes, killing people, blah, blah, blah. However, the American airstrikes came at a particularly combustible moment in Iraq, where anger at foreign meddling was already running high. For much of the last 16 years, Iraqis' ire has been directed at the United States for invasion and the war and occupation that followed. Oh, so hold on a minute. This is why. This sentence. For much of the last 16 years, Iraqis' ire has been directed at the United States for its invasion and the war and occupation that followed. Seems like you didn't need to fucking ask this questions, did you? You moron. Did I mess Super Chats while the internet was down? Let me scroll back and see. They seem to be gone, unfortunately. And I have no clue where to get them. Because I'm an idiot. I mean, this seems like a mostly worthless article. But the headline gripped me because it was just stupidity. It was pure. Oh, of course, it was first published at the New York Times. Fucking rags, dude. Okay, what is this? Okay, check this out. This is a Italian headline, and it says "Goodbye Mail," and it's like an anti-feminist article, right? But they put like a porn drawing from Pokemon. They put a porn drawing from Pokemon as their goddamn as their picture for the article. Dude, I have no clue what the article says, but wow. All right. Did the link you sent? Okay, let me look at it now, Artemis Fowl, because I think I have it. Yes, I do. Holy fuck, dude. Can you send me this computer? Okay. Here is Artemis Fowl's PC that he's making. AMD Threadripper. You have a Kraken cooler, some thermal compound, Republic of Gamers, Strix motherboard. You have, for some fucking reason, 128 gigs of memory. Bunch of 1 terabyte solid state drives, 2080 Ti, an ATX mid tower case, 100 watt. This is not far off from my beastly build that I had, but I only had 64 gigs of RAM, and I had instead a Ryzen 3950. But yeah, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Why? Why? That is a monster. Yeah. I did pick up a 2080 Ti, though. Like, I went all out on my graphics card because I wanted it to look fucking good, and it looks fucking good, dude. Forgot I had this up. I'm going to retweet this. Bam. Go. All right. Armed parishioners saved untold number of lives. This law made it legal to have guns in church. A shooter at a church in White Settlement, Texas, was taken down by parishioners with a gun seconds after he began firing. Those parishioners, who were also volunteer members of the church's security team, were able to carry guns into the church due to a law passed by the Texas governor. So basically, the bill took effect in September, and it clarifies the position of firearms at places of worship. So licensed handgun owners are legally able to carry their weapons in churches, synagogues, and other houses of worship. And it actually saved some lives this time, because a guy came in, started shooting, and these guys put him down. You know? Like, it's pretty good. You know, that's pretty awesome, in fact. Texicans get it done. Yeah. Recommend is a good replacement for an NVIDIA Quadro. Well, a Quadro card, isn't a Quadro card made for like video processing, not gaming? Like, they kind of have, at the extreme high ends of graphics cards, they split into two brands. Titan is for like the ultimate gaming, and then Quadro is for the ultimate like processing and video generation and creation. You know, like 3D generation if you're like making a game, or if you're making graphics, or if you're doing animation, or if you're editing videos. Like, they kind of specialize in that way. So if you're gaming on a Quadro, like, probably a lower end. If you're gaming on a Quadro, then an equivalent Titan would actually be significantly better for gaming, basically. There's video too, but you can't show it on YouTube. Yeah, probably not, eh? Rendering, that's what it is. Thank you, rendering. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, like, my argument with regarding guns has been the same for a while now. Like, there are people who say guns don't kill people, people kill people, and honestly, those people are idiots in my opinion. Guns are obviously dangerous, like obviously dangerous, right? You can't say that they're not. They are dangerous objects. But, and this is a big but, I don't see the argument for having only agents of the state don't own dangerous objects, because you don't want that, you know? If only the state has weapons and nobody else, what prevents it from becoming tyrannical? Nothing, it seems like. So, maybe responsible humans who are adults should also have dangerous objects of their own, it seems like. Fuck oof for $5, thank you very much. Look up The Boomer with the Big Iron. It's about a guy who killed the church shooter. Oh, that's cool, man. Non-Americans don't get to opine about American gun politics. No, but honestly, Canada has guns too. The UK actually does have guns. If I knew how to shoot and maintain a gun properly, I'd probably buy one. But I am not experienced in such things, unfortunately. A hammer and screwdriver are also dangerous. Unironically, yes. So if safety is your highest value, you go down the UK route where they start disarming people of fucking screwdrivers, which is just so stupid. You can't have a kitchen knife anymore in the UK. Like, it's dumb, right? It's retarded. But that's also why safety can't be the highest value, because you're never safe. Eventually you'll die. Like, how safe are you really? You know? You live for 80 years and then you're gone. Eventually you will have to confront not being safe. Like, even if the state, like, cuts off your arms and legs and hooks you up to, like, a feeding machine and then just puts you into a VR world where nothing can ever hurt you, you'll eventually die. There is no safety. There is no security. It doesn't exist. There is no security beyond what you can provide for yourself, you know? And this is a slightly different conversation, but it's ideologically related. I have this conversation with people who just want to work 9-to-5 jobs because it's more secure. It's not. It's actually not. Like, if you're in business for yourself, it might seem like it's less secure because you're the engine, you know? If you're a YouTuber and YouTube's money is fickle, which it is. You know, it's less secure. There's no benefits there, dude. There's no, you know, there's all of these conversations, and it's like, well, you know what? You can get fired from your secure job. Your company can go bankrupt, you know? And even if you don't get fired or your company doesn't go bankrupt, there's still no security there because maybe there were better opportunities that you didn't take out of that would have been better for you but you thought it was too secure. So you're actually losing, you know? There is no long-term security. So like I said, eventually we all get hurt, we all get sick, we all die. So the only security is what you can provide for yourself. Nathan Brake for $2. I have the best gun of all, the M1 Garand. What's that? Masso, I'm not sure if me talking about the new Smash Brothers character would actually fit this channel. I can talk about it now, though, if you like. Let me pull it up. Let me just get it. What is the M1 Garand? Oh, it's like a rifle. Okay. Cool. All right, so here. We'll talk about this then real quick. Just to have it on the Shut up. Okay. So Blythe joins Smash. He's from Fire Emblem Three Houses. People are mad about it. Because the Fire Emblem, because the Smash DLC so far has been Piranha Plant, which is like whatever. Joker, which is okay. Who was third? I don't even remember. Oh, Hero, who's like whatever, because I can't even remember him. Banjo-Kazooie, which everyone wanted. Terry from Fatal Fury, which I guess is like a different kind of everyone wanted, probably like the same as Ryu from Street Fighter, and then Blythe. And no one fucking wanted Blythe. People are angry because this is supposed to be like the final DLC character. Everyone's been waiting for this. People are pissed about it, right? Yeah, I don't know guns, guys. Sorry. I don't know guns and I don't know cars, so I couldn't even tell you. Isn't it Blythe? Or it's Byleth. Sorry. I thought it was okay. I thought it was derived from the word blither, like. Yeah, I'll show you the spelling that I actually used to find this because it wasn't that. Like Blyther, like blither. The because blither is actually and Blythe is actually an old name as well. So that's what I thought it was. I wasn't reading it properly. God damn it. But yeah, anyway. It's Byleth, fine. Here, okay. Here's my take on Byleth. When the DLC was announced, Sakurai said that all the characters, with the exception of Piranha Plant, would be characters who had no representation in Smash Brothers yet. So from completely new series. So Hero, Dragon Quest, fine. Joker, Persona, fine. Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie, fine. You know, they were all from game series that had nobody in Smash yet. And then for the fifth one, they add the 8th Fire Emblem character. You know, I was like, well, why? Why would you go against that? And then, if you look ahead, you'll notice they added 6 characters to the next DLC pack. Not 5. So what I think's going on is Nintendo basically pulled an executive decision and said, put in the new Fire Emblem guy. And Sakurai's like, but we already have a last one. And they're like, push it ahead to the next pack and just make 6 in that one instead of 5. I think behind the scenes, that's what Nintendo said. That's my hypothesis. But yeah, no one's happy about this. Everyone's disappointed. And I hope that the next 6 characters in the next DLC pack are actually fucking worth it. Lots of super chats. So, sorry, guys. Let me get to them. Arctic of Fate, $2. Did you tell the vampire RP Kyle is the father? What? I'm not pregnant. God damn it. Brick Muppet for $5. Thank you. A U.S. rifle, the best rifle of World War II. The Garand was one of my first Garand to give it its name. Yeah, see, I've seen the rifle. I just didn't know its name. But thank you. $5 from Artemis Fowl. Sent you an image in case your viewers think I'm trolling them. I need this computer so I can play RimWorld. Is that an old fucking game? Okay, hold on. I don't want to, like, accidentally reveal anything. You actually bought it. He's showing me, like, okay. This guy actually bought his fucking computer. Jesus Christ, dude. Fakoof for 5. You don't know what the M1 is. No, I don't. Sorry. You're disappointing me greatly. I am taking you on a tour to guns soon. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it, I think. Nathan Brake for 5. Thank you. The M1 was the U.S. service rifle that was made by a Canadian, adopted in 1936. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Megamet EXE, exactly. Sakurai did say on Twitter, Nintendo was picking the characters. Yeah, that's what happened. They probably pushed it off. I still like Smash, but Byloth there seems like kind of a waste of a slot. Let's move on, though. Okay. Thank you to my midwife for reassuring a pregnant dad. A pregnant dad, guys. A pregnant dad. All right. It's time. I haven't dusted off the old horn in a while, but it's time for Clown World! Honk, honk. We have reached Clown World, guys. Obviously. It's a clown decade, in fact. In this series, writers celebrate a person who changed their lives. Fred McConnell thanks Joe Hall for her care and common sense. Thank you for guiding me through a string... Oh. Well, that's the end of that, I guess. Whenever this happens, my computer starts crashing. So if the stream dies again, you know what happens, eh? Here we go. Thank you for guiding me through a strange and at times hostile land. I don't know if it's part of a community midwife's official job description, but that's what it feels like to me. A man and queer person entering the antenatal care system. $2 for Nathan Brake. I hope Master Chief gets put into Smash. I hope, like, here's what I hope. Smash should have either Doom Guy or Master Chief. Maybe make them echo fighters of each other. I want to see Crash. I want to see Travis Touchdown. I want to see, obviously, Geno from My RPG, obviously. Like, there's so many people want. They don't want fucking Byloth, all right? Anyway. Being pregnant for the first time is daunting for anyone. Being pregnant for the first time and trans male was terrifying. We were both stepping into the unknown, but you never made me feel like a problem. Okay. You suggested coming to my home for our first appointment, and this became a routine I never had to justify. You hadn't cared for an expectant dad before, at least not a pregnant one. It could have been very different. It could have been harsh and alienating. Yeah, I want Hollow Knight too. Thank you for seeing me as an individual, for your care and common sense, for making no fuss and no fanfare. After asking me to think about where I'd like to give birth, you helped me to write a detailed hospital birth plan. I found it reassuring, and so did the hospital midwives. As well as being informative, it set gentle boundaries that put everyone at ease. You connected me with a lactation consultant without making any assumptions about how I plan to feed my newborn. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Max Teppa for $5. Anyone starting to look back with horror with how often Mpreg was in children cartoons back in the 90s and 2000s? Oh yeah, like the whole male impregnation thing where it was like played off as a joke. It's like, there's a pregnant man. Oh no, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Fucking hell. There were pee sticks, pressure cuffs, and pink one-size-fits-all forms, for which you unfussily apologize exactly the right amount. Whenever I Whenever I felt erased by the system, I felt doubly fiercely seen by the person guiding me through it. There were cups of tea and small talk. We almost never discussed the stuff that made me different, not because it was awkward, but because it was rarely relevant. You undertook minor accommodations as part of caring for me. Mostly you just cared. It was simple. Well, fine. But still, this is definitely this is definitely like a clown world symptom, isn't it? Yeah, a lactation consultant. Honk honk. You know, I actually like the fact that I found a horn. Like, I found it on the side of the road, so cool. Hockey Night in Canada ratings plummet since Don Cherry's firing. Who fucking could have seen this coming, dude? I don't know. I don't fucking know. This happened back during Remembrance Day, November 11th. He got fired, and now no one watches the show anymore that he was fired from. Well, According to a new report, the ratings for Hockey Night in Canada have declined sharply since the firing of Canadian icon Don Cherry. Lily writes, in the 2 weeks following Cherry's dismissal, the Eastern broadcast of Hockey Night in Canada failed to make the top 30 TV shows. This means that the premier hockey game in Canada failed to draw as many viewers as NCIS New Orleans. It also failed to replace Chicago Fire and Chicago Med. Dumping Don Cherry hurt HNIC ratings. So, even in Canada, guys, even in Canada, if you get woke, you eventually do go broke. Yeah. Can't bury the cherry, guys. Hold on. I found a road horn because I found a road bike. Like a perfectly fine... It wasn't like a... Okay. This sounds like I stole someone's fucking bike and I didn't. I didn't create a new bike cuck, all right? This was a pile of stuff outside of somebody's house. They had just moved, and they left a sign saying, "We moved, take this free stuff." And I went there. There was a bike, and I took the horn off of it, and this is a bike horn. All right? I have a bike horn. I also got some other cool free stuff from there too. So, I didn't fucking steal a goddamn bike. Anyway. Let's just see. The most recent ratings available for Hockey Night in Canada showed them to be down more than 500,000 viewers. Jesus, dude. So, it was 810,000, 983,000, and now it's 1,200, 1,300, 1,100, 1,100, 900, 1,000. Wow, you destroyed your own show, guys. Cherry has since launched his own podcast that is one of the most popular podcasts in Canada. You guys are fucking retarded, dude. Dev has Shen's bike horn. Can you imagine? I think I stole a bike. Okay. Oh. I forgot about this one. I had to put it in a different window, like an incognito window, because Washington Post sucks. A homeless man, this is back from Christmas. A homeless man longs to see his daughter on Christmas. Can he find $27 for a bus ticket? You know, if you guys did a goddamn story on him, I hope you gave him the $27 fucking dollars. You weasels, you little shits. Robert Fox knew where he should spend Christmas. With his daughter, who would welcome him with a hug and a kiss. He would tell her he loved her and thank God for bringing them together. He would reminisce about happy memories over butter pecan ice cream and lemon cake with chocolate frosting. He would shave and shower and sleep in a warm bed, and when he woke up, he'd begin his new life. What he didn't know is how any of that could happen. He imagined all this as he sat on a bench in downtown Washington, Franklin Square, surrounded by makeshift tents patched together by people who, with Christmas less than 48 hours away, had already given up on finding a special place to stay the holiday. The temperature had climbed into the 50s, so he unbuttoned his wool coat and tipped back his full-brim camouflage hat, allowing the sunlight to cascade across the creases of his worried face. Oh, will someone just help him? Elect Bernie Sanders now. $5 for Architect of Fate. Dev, if you're just going to steal the bikes, what are the minorities going to do? Look at Dev taking away jobs from minorities. Jesus. Making money off the homeless without giving them anything in exchange sounds like normal for these news companies. Yeah. His daughter lived 61 miles south. He has a cell phone, but he can't afford to pay for service. He didn't know his daughter's number or even the number of anyone who did. He hadn't seen her since a relative's funeral 5, maybe 6 years ago, and they hadn't talked in 4. He didn't own a car. So this guy just hasn't talked to his daughter? Like, his daughter didn't come looking for him? Maybe they're estranged. I'm going through some things, he said, but what that really meant was that he'd been living on the streets of the nation's capital for nearly a year. That's what had brought him to Franklin Square, an unofficial refuge for the city's homeless. Alright. Fox acknowledged that he's made some bad choices. No shit. He loves his 5 children, even if he hasn't been around all the time. He's struggled with drugs, off and on, and been arrested a number of times through the years. Once serving a year in prison on a cocaine conviction. It sounds like maybe instead of buying that last bundle of cocaine, you should have bought yourself a bus ticket. Fox smokes the last shreds of tobacco in a cigarette he got. Fucking feel bad for these homeless people as they spend what few dollars they have not on trying to improve their life, but on fucking drugs. No, fuck you. Right. He'd always find a way to earn a living. Oh. Working in the basement of the Saks Fifth Avenue in Chevy Chase, draping clothes he can never afford on hangers. Oh, okay. This is a job. He had since held dozens of other jobs as a roofer and a painter and a construction worker. I mean, are you getting fired from all these jobs constantly, or did the work just dry up? In the 1970s, he lugged bags for travelers at a skycap in Washington National Airport, where Fox said that he saw celebrities, including James Brown and the Pointer Sisters, pass by. For a long time, he renovated houses and worked on cars, often with his oldest son, and that was enough to fill the fridge and pay rent. So his life started to come undone about 15 years ago when he returned home to find his fiancée sprawled out on their bed. An aneurysm had taken her life. The cost of the funeral wiped out his savings. I mean, it sounds harsh, but like you could have had the cheaper funeral. You know, unfortunately, but like you're still alive. And you got things to do, man. You know, half of this seems like the inevitable tragedies of life, which no one can avoid. None of us. Something's going to happen to you know, again, we're all going to die. And something bad will happen to us along the way. Like everyone currently watching, your parents will die one day. Like you have to deal with that. But there's no excuse for making it any worse than it has to be. You know? Doesn't matter if he misses his wife. Everyone misses somebody. Everyone's got somebody to miss. It's not an excuse. It sounds harsh, but it's not an excuse. I don't know. Her coffin needed spinners. No. Listen. It's not a doomer. This is not a doomer philosophy, man. Like, this is actually a bloomer philosophy. This is how you get to be a bloomer. You have to recognize that, like, life is full of tragedy, but you can make the tragedy. How can I word this? Life is full of tragedy, but there is no reason to spend your time, your money, and your energy making the tragedy worse than it has to be. And in fact, you can if you could make your life to only contain the minimum amount of tragedy necessary to get through it, then maybe you could get through it. And maybe you could come out on the other side being better for it, you know? Maybe you don't have to endure somebody's death and become hopelessly corrupted by it. You know, maybe things could work out for you, you know? That's not a doomer philosophy. God damn it. Yeah, bloomer, dude. Wait, I'm a fucking asshole and now your evening's bad? No! You can be happy, Marie, but I didn't suck anything out of anything. when I hear somebody say life is tragedy, but your work can minimize the tragedy, that's a positive statement to me. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, maybe things could be less tragic if you did something about it. That's a great place to start. That's a great philosophy. It's basically Hakuna Matata. God damn it, guys. God damn it, guys. Death is my homeboy. Piss off, emos. Jesus. Sam Petre, how do you feel? Thanks for the $5. How do you feel about the Liberal Party genocide currently going on in Quebec? Not one seat east of Montreal. Big Daddy Francois. It seems like whenever society shifts more conservative, things start to fragment a little bit. You get like local parties get more powerful in the areas in which they're popular. You know, it seems like at the very least our generation is not immune to leftist collectivism, but it is quite immune to rightist collectivism, you know? I'm not schooling you on your problems, Marie. I'm not doing that at all. I'm talking about this situation where it seems like it's half tragedy that he couldn't avoid, and half of it was tragedy that he himself exacerbated by his own behavior. Let's get you that ticket. So like, here's homeless people coming together to get this guy a ticket, but like, you're fucking reporters, dude. Just give him the $27. We all help each other. Oh, you guys are fucking slimes, dude. I'll need to do a video on my thoughts on death, Swift Sword, at some point. But like here's a general, like a very quick version. Like, okay, if you've ever done something a lot, but then now you don't do it anymore, but you don't feel bad about doing it, like you don't regret doing it. So like, you know, if you think back, let's say you're in your 30s. Anyone here in your 30s? In your like late 20s or 30s? And you think back to like all the parties you went to in high school and in college, and how they were like wild parties, you know? You wouldn't do them again now, hopefully. Like you've probably grown out of that. But you don't regret doing it then, right? Like you don't think, now because now I've changed my ways and I no longer want to do that, I regret doing those parties. Maybe you do feel that way. But there are definitely things where like you did something in the past, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, but you've had enough of it, you know? And now you're like, well, I've had enough of that. I don't regret doing it. I learned from it. I had an experience, but I don't want to do it again. If given the option to go back and do it some more, I wouldn't keep doing it, you know? I've had my fill of that experience. Don't regret it, just don't want to keep doing it. Okay. I use parties as an example, but it doesn't have to be parties, right? I'm using parties as a general example. It could be any experience, right? But at some point you say, good experience, learned, enjoyed, but I'm done with that. I'm going to do something else with my time now. I'm done. Well, maybe it's the case that if you've lived a full life and you've done all the things that you've wanted to do, and you're like 90 years old and you're on your deathbed, maybe you can feel like, okay, well, you know, I've done that now. You know, you've had enough of life such that you feel like if it's time to be done with your life, you're never happy about it, but you're at least okay with it. You know, it's like, well, I've done 90 years of this, and I don't regret doing it. But now it's time to do something else, you know? Maybe that's how you have to face death. Like it's not a great way to face it, but there is no great way to face it. So. Mm-hmm. I don't even mean in regards to regrets, JPG. It's more like in regards to, just feeling like your life is complete. You know? God damn it, Taro. That's not what I'm fucking saying. You act like you do anything like it's the 1960s. What do you mean? Rave to the grave. Having enough parties guarantees you won't reach 90. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know that I would want to live longer than the average human life, right? Because there's so much you could do. But eventually, if you run out of things to do, like you've exhausted every possibility, then I don't know. Maybe after a couple thousand years, you would actually want to die if you were immortal. You know? I don't know. Maybe. I definitely don't agree with the "if it feels good, do it" philosophy. There are so many things that are bad to you that feel good. You know? Diva was born an old man. Yeah, maybe. We do treat the elderly and babies like the same goddamn thing. We give them no agency, put them in diapers. It'd be dope to reach the century. Yeah, see, like, I have a feeling that our generation might actually live until, like, 100 regularly, right? I already want to die. Living 1,000 years is a curse. Jesus. What happens when we die? Well, we're off topic of the stream at this point, but maybe I can talk about it a little bit. At one point, I had to have a surgery that put me under. I was, they gave me anesthetic, and I was out. When you sleep, you have like a general sense of time that like time has passed, right? So if you sleep for 6 hours, you can kind of tell that like you've slept for like between like 5 and 7 hours. You know what I mean? When you like, if you have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom and it's like 4 a.m., you kind of feel like, is it like close to 4 when you're like rolling out of bed, right? You have at least an idea that time has passed. And if you have dreams, you have at least like a limited sense of self while you're asleep. Like when you wake up after an 8-hour sleep, you're like, I slept a full night's sleep. I don't know how long it was specifically, but I did some sleep in there and I had some dreams there, right? When I was put under for that surgery, there was no knowledge of passage of time. There was no dreams. There was no knowledge of self. It wasn't like I was just in darkness for 3 hours. It felt like what dying is going to feel like, I think. I was gone. I didn't exist. I when I woke up, I had no knowledge of where I had been for those 3 hours. No dreams, not even a knowledge of darkness. You know what it was? It was like, maybe I can show you. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you. I can like illustrate it, okay? But I had no idea where I had been. There was no knowledge of darkness, no knowledge of sleep, no knowledge of things happening. I had no clue how long it had been or where I had been. I had to like, there was like a few moments there where I was first waking up that I had to like refigure out who I was in a sense, right? I had to be like, okay, well, if that's the case, Who am I again? And what am I doing here? And why? You know what I mean? Okay. Here. I can show you this. Okay. Okay. So like, here, check this out, check this out, check this out. This is the editing timeline for a video, right? And you know what I do is like when there's a space like right here, there's a space like right here, I'll cut it. And then I'll remove that space between the speaking, right? Okay. Okay. So let's undo that. So when I was out, let's assume that this timeline of video is like my consciousness, right? My thinking and my experiencing and like my knowledge, my sense of self. When you're asleep, it's kind of like this, where you have like a piece, right? And then like, let's disable it. So like you're asleep, but it's still there and you still have knowledge of it. That's sleeping. When I was put under for this is what it was like. It was like there was nothing there at all. And I had no clue what was the difference between this and this. Like it could have been this much time. It could have been this much time. I had no idea. Different surgery, DragonFat. Different surgery. I actually didn't get put under for that. It was a different surgery that I had to do. It was a much more complicated surgery, in fact. I had I guess I might as well just say it. I had a tumor on my leg that got cut out. And I was put under for that. It was on my thigh. It wasn't cancerous, thankfully. But I had to be put under. So yeah. Naomi just texted me. Naomi went away for a couple days, so she's texting me on her trip and how she's going, how it's going. Okay, let's actually go back to things. Let's go back to this. What did we here? Complete 180 from the previous topic. What did we get stuck in our rectums last year, guys? Thanks, Vice. You fucking. All right. What is that? What is that? Is it a phone? I don't know. Tumor on his ligament. Get out of here. Yeah, thumb ugly. That sucks. Okay. We Americans are a people extremely good at shoving things inside ourselves. We are slightly less good at getting them back out without the aid of trained medical personnel. It's because of the location on my leg, DragonFat. And because I guess it was deeper than people had thought. Anyway, we are slightly less good at getting them back out without the aid of trained medical personnel. For a decade, I've been chronicling our country's cavity misadventures, and I've learned several things. First, that it's dangerous to be horny. Second is that men are far, far stupider than women when it comes to estimating what will fit and what will be retrievable. Fucking okay. Third is that the human body is a wondrous thing, but the human imagination is even stronger. All right. Here's what people got stuck in the ear. 2 wireless earbuds. A jewel. Sister put a long, slender toy in patient's ear. A metal piece of a shirt. Rock salt. A berry. Patient says she had wax in the ear and attempted to remove it with tweezers and a piece of string. Paper in both ears. Placed thermometer in the ear and fell on the bed. Juice box straw. A pearl. A wood chip. A microchip. A decorative seashell. A tooth comb. A zip tie. Slime. A plastic spider and a Christmas ornament. What'd you get stuck in your nose? What did you get stuck in your nose? 2 rare earth magnets, small heart sticker, 2 button batteries, a bath bead, chalk, A bug. Tried to remove it with a bobby pin. The bobby pin's now stuck. Candy wrapper. Googly eye. Mothball. Sunflower seed. Christmas ornament. Stuck in your throat. A fidget spinner. A condom. 7 nuts from the Christmas tree Mum and Dad were taking down. A laser pointer. A tape dispenser. A decorative rock. A piece of a bed. A tropical breeze detergent pod. Swallowed 3 button batteries last PM and a thumbtack this AM because they taste good. A fuse. A capsule that expands into a foam dinosaur. A plastic sword. I swallowed a stamp ink pad that he received at a prize at the dentist office. Cleaning solution. Razor blade covered in toilet paper and a broken plastic soap dish. A stuffed bird. About 10 puzzle pieces. Had it necklace in mouth, trying to untangle it, and accidentally swallowed it. Glass Christmas tree light. Ice cream cup lid. Drill bit. Hearing aid. A key. Swallowed a thumbtack she thought was a mint. A Christmas ornament. There's a Christmas ornament for all of these, man. What did you guys get stuck in your penis? A crayon. A marker cap. A chopstick. A ballpoint pen. A piece of toy pliers. A lollipop stick. A coaxial cable. A wedding ring. A magnet. A screwdriver. A bobby pin because he was unable to achieve an erection and he thought it would help. What'd you get stuck in the vagina? A toothbrush. A metal and plastic container. Tape. Was being arrested by the police, so she stuck her cell phone in and hid it from them. Perfume bottle. Makeup bottle. A large piece of underwear. Toy action figure. Rubber ball. No, I see Ironcaster. We're just going with this. Rubber ball. Jumped off a couch and landed on a spoon. Into the vagina, I guess. What'd you get stuck in the rectum, guys? Patient states he slipped in the shower and landed on a metal air freshener can and it went into rectum. Sure. Folding knife. Plastic toy about 6 inches long. Toothpick. Toothbrush. Toothbrush holder. Plunger handle. Mattress foam. 2 razor blades. 2 small vibrators. A turkey baster. A condom wrapper. A coat hanger. Patient unsure how it got there. A garden hose cap, a cigarette lighter, a toy hockey stick, a water gun, a bag of heroin, coins, an egg timer, a small shampoo bottle, a large shampoo bottle, a light bulb, an applesauce can. Accidentally got a dildo lodged in the rectum and cut the end of the dildo off. Stuck a 4-inch butt plug up rectum yesterday, handle broke. He continued to push the toy in. Was using prostate massager and it got sucked in. And a Christmas ornament. Oh, never stick stuff inside, guys. Yeah, it's pretty hard to jam shit up your ass, I have to assume. Like, you could just poop it out. Right? You just, okay, you put something in your butthole accidentally. Oops. Go to the washroom, poop it out. Like, go drink some coffee. Weekly sip. You poop it out. Oh god, I saw the broken jar shard. The video where the guy puts like the whole jar in his ass and it breaks in there. Cause like the pressure of his asshole. Oh. Jesus. And a partridge in a pear tree. Let's keep going. A Christian pastor says men who play video games are losers possessed by a retarded spirit. Okay. So the church deleted the video. This guy has a copy. Turns out that the guy they filed the copyright claim on his video. So, and all the mirrors have been taken down. So like, they're scrubbing the internet of this video. But anyway, there he is. Usually when we see a pastor complaining about video games, it's one of those retro clips from the 1980s. This one, courtesy of the Faith Christian Center in Texas, is from a couple months ago. Pastor Gene Lingerfeld goes off on men who play Xbox, blaming that retarded spirit for why beautiful young women in the church can't find dates. And don't even get me started on the Xbox and all of that. If you have calluses on your thumbs, you're a loser. If you're more than 18 years old and you're still jacking around with that stuff, does the L gesture. I curse that spirit in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. There are young girls in this church. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young girls. And you know why they can't get a date? Because that retarded spirit got onto young men. Amen. Some of you women, you have my permission. Blame me. He come home. I'm talking about your husband come home, and that's gone. And just don't throw it in the trash. You'll go fish it out. You got to put it in the bathtub full of water before you throw it in the trash. Now, don't do it while it's plugged in. Good God. Yeah, just destroy the Xbox, guys. That'll fucking work. Gamers rise up, all right? For $5, or sorry, what is it, francs? Anyway, five things from Dracus. Thank you. The heroin one reminds me of someone my mom had to deal with as a detention officer. He didn't shit for a month. Jesus, dude. Fucking hell. Where is the lie? What happens if your girlfriend plays video games, though? Like, my girlfriend plays video games. She plays them just as much, if not more, than me. Like, I'm dating an actual gamer girl, so... What's this again? Oh, yeah. Okay. Julia Roberts finds life and her holes get better with age. Yeah? I think it goes the other way around, Julia. You know, I know that it was a typo, right? Like, holes. It's actually rolls. Like, they made a mistake. But still, this is pretty hilarious. All right? $5 for Nathan Brake. Thank you very much. The human rectum can expand to 8 inches in diameter. A raccoon can squeeze between a space less than 4 inches. Why don't you have you in the ass? Who in the ass? I'm not a raccoon, but thank you for the 5. Men possessed by demons, women most affected. So, I don't know if she isn't using them, they atrophy and tighten up. Is that how it works? Is that how women's holes work? They just close up? Anyway, the actual article is useless. It's just that it's a funny headline, basically. Patrick Stewart didn't want to reprise Captain Picard in a post-Brexit world. Oh no. Poor Patrick Stewart. How would we go and redistribute all of his money? In the new television series Star Trek Picard, which, by the way, is the dumbest fucking name, Patrick Stewart reprises his beloved character, Starfleet Captain Jean-Luc Picard, 17 years after Picard's last movie appearance. For 7 seasons, the leader of the Star Trek... Yeah, we already know. When Picard producers first approached the actor, Stewart was uninterested in returning to the character who defended a utopian vision when he felt the real world has taken a dystopian turn. No, the future's actually quite bright. you idiot. Stewart says, in a post-President Trump and post-Brexit world, the United States and the United Kingdom in particular distance themselves from what the United Federation of Planets, Star Trek's fictional interstellar union of planets that share democratic goals, represented. The European Union has always made me feel, well, we are heading towards our own Federation of Planets somewhere down the line that will come about. And I am angry, disappointed, and embarrassed by our decision to leave the Union. Well, maybe if the European Union was actually a fully democratic state, and not like this fucking nightmare, it would be okay to stay in it. Like, if the European Union was restructured such that every level of government was actually democratic and not just appointed, like, say, the United States was, I would actually be completely fine with the UK staying in, like, a United States of Europe. Because it's democratic. You can at the very least petition your leaders for a redress of grievances. You can elect somebody new if you don't like the direction of things. So then fine, stay in the EU. But the EU is a totalitarian nightmare state. Fucking hell. Much like Picard, Stewart is uninterested in playing a part, fictional or not, if it doesn't mesh with his beliefs. It wasn't until the producer described the transformed landscape they envisioned for Picard that Stewart got on board. The Federation has swung isolationist, and the new Picard is very different. Oh no! Okay. Anyway, this is coming out in 4 days. I'm going to have to pirate this show, because I kind of want to see it, you know? I know that people don't agree with me, but I actually kind of liked the second season of Star Trek Discovery. First season was complete garbage. Second season was like half okay. Wasn't as good as like Best Trek, you know? It was like on par with like the mediocre to good Voyager stuff, you know, in terms of quality. So it's like, good enough. Good enough for something to watch, right? But I do want to at least try Picard. Because I am interested, even though it sounds like it's going to be a shit show. So I'm not gonna pay for it. Fuck CBS. Fuck New Trek. It's coming out on Thursday. I am downloading that shit. Gene Roddenberry. Wow, we should make a show about a future with no hate and racism where people live well and all get along. Yeah, I do wish Cisco got a new series, dude. Should I review Picard? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I could. Maybe because here's the thing. Sargon's done 2 videos, right? The politics of Starship Troopers and the politics of Demolition Man. And I've actually had a few videos in my head in that same style, like in that vein. And one of them is the politics of Attack on Titan. One of them is the politics of Death Note. One of them is the politics of Star Wars. I kind of have those like mapped out very similarly. And it's like, I could do a Star Trek one, you know? I could do a Star Trek one. Yeah, Brick Muppet. The guy that they got to do to play Captain Pike was really good in that second season. And yeah, you know what? Jack the Ripper? Mandalorian was actually not bad. Like, it was actually enjoyable Star Wars for fucking once. Haven't seen that in about 20 years. Cisco was the best captain, yeah. In any case, it's just an interview about it. Don't pay for it, guys. Make sure to steal the show if you want to watch it on the 23rd. V already spoiled Attack on Titans. Yes, but I don't think V did like a super in-depth analysis, did he? Yeah, his Demolition Man video was really good. It was really good. And in fact, it actually reminded me, I hadn't seen Demolition Man in like 15, 20 years. And Naomi had never seen it. So I decided to watch it with her. And she thought it was amazing. We watched it like a couple weeks ago. I am the Senate. They would never let Brooks play Cisco. He puts up with none of the shit they do. Yeah. Well, Avery Brooks has like, he's left Hollywood. He like teaches at university now. Is this Canadian stunt? This is again from back during the Christmas season. Is this Canadian gun store owner racist for his White Friday sale? Gun deals. All you people come on in. White Friday. White Friday. If Black Friday isn't fucking racist, how could you possibly goddamn say that White Friday is racist? You idiots. You absolute buffoons. Is it racism or just a clever marketing ploy? It's just a clever marketing ploy. The word white is not dripping with racism. You idiots. Fuck me. My White Friday sale in regards to selling guns or crossbows or anything in the store had nothing to do with color. It's just a sale. We're allowed to have sales in Canada. Yes, you are. As for why he went with White Friday instead of Black Friday, he said the word black elicits negative emotions because of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's blackface. This year, I don't really know why people got offended by the use of white. I couldn't use the word black because of Trudeau using blackface. Shit, dude. All right. Fair enough. That's how it is, I guess. It's people of light. I love people of light. I wish that had actually caught on. All you see in the newspaper is Black Friday, Black Friday. And you know what? I said, we're not Americans. Let's go with a different shade, a different color. I picked white because it resembles snow. It resembles Christmas. Why not go with something brighter than black? Yeah, dude. If the White Friday sale wasn't enough to draw attention, the sign also contained another potentially divisive message: "You people," and that's reference to Don Cherry, who said "you people," referring to immigrants, and it was a whole fucking controversy I did a video on. But anyway, this is not. Oh yeah, his advertisement also said "Merry Christmas." At least that's not controversial, right? Oh God, I hate the world that we now live in. You know, I hate the world that we now live in. I mean, it gives me content, but it makes me feel bad about the future. I have a feeling that I have a feeling that things will eventually get better, but I think 2020 to 2030 is going to be like the decade where we have, trans kids forced to take hormones, and then the final bounce back and push back and the return to normalcy. I think the SJWs are getting louder and crazier because they're dying off. So I think we're going to see a few more final bursts of insanity, and then I think we'll actually return to the early 2000s regarding political views, where it's yeah, gay marriage is fine, but keep your hands off children. Just reasonable center-left positions. I think they'll make a comeback. After the left gets destroyed by Trump again in 2020, I think they'll make a comeback. They'll realize, oh, we can't keep being fucking political retards. Here's a great quote from my father, God rest his soul. I'm glad I'm on my way out and you're on your way in. Is it because he thinks he can't deal with the situation while you think that you can? Maybe. State-enforced homosexuality. It's probably coming, dude. We're not doomed. We're not doomed at all. You just gotta fight. Stand up for your speech. Don't let people tell you that you're terrible for not believing what they believe. What if it swings too hard right? Well, then we fight them again. The group that was that was censor heavy back in the 80s and 90s was the right wing. It was the right wing religious neocons who were saying we can't have gay marriage and we can't put this on TV and you have to ban video games and D&D is full of Satanists and all this complete BS. The right is just as bad as the left. Just because they're not bad right now doesn't mean they won't be in the future. So even though the enemy right now is the radical left, it could definitely be the radical right in the future, and we have to fight them. We have to fight them both. This is the end. You can sense it. It's in the air. No. What I sense is opportunity. What I sense is opportunity. Chaos is absolutely a ladder, And things are in pure chaos right now. So this is the time to work. This is the time to get ahead. This is the time to push your ideas. This is the time to enforce your rights. This is the time for pushback. This is the opportunity. Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm back. Hopefully you can hear me. The the computer crashed right then. All right. But honestly, we're done with the news anyway, so this is pretty much the end of the show. Still dead? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. Come on, there's no fucking way. It says I'm streaming, dude. Am I up? Am I up again? Fucking hell. Guess I'm not. Shit. Alright.